Hi, welcome back to another video, and this time also my face. This is gonna be a change for my videos moving forward. As people say, it's more personable to see the face, who is behind the camera or screen recordings or whatever. I'm not gonna make too long of an intros this time, as there have been changes in my life, and it is that I have been made redundant. And what I want to talk about is lessons that I have learned in this time, and also what my next steps will be moving forward. And yeah, let's just get into this video. Just before I start this video, I want to say that I have shared some of my technical skill progression here on this channel, but being a designer is more than just technical skills, even though it is a big part of our daily operations. Like us to operate as designers, we need to know software, but it's not your whole shtick. Like, there's more than just technical knowledge, and being in situations where you have to solve problems is one of them. I guess it would be good to share a little bit of a timeline, and the timeline is that I picked up Blender late last year, early 2023, and I was working as a sessional tutor, and I was in my free time just kept creating different Blender projects and upping my 3D skills, and moving fast forward, I landed myself a job in 3D as a junior 3D designer in a branding agency, and it was a really steep learning curve, and I really appreciate that I had that, actually, because that gave me a certain idea about the standard of my 3D modeling and rendering quality that I have to achieve moving forward. Well, fast forward, I have been made redundant due to lack of work, which is what it's a part of running business, and I know it's not the most pleasant part of the whole operations and stuff. But the main lessons that I have learned from the whole experience, and number one, I undervalued myself in terms of how much pay I asked for my services, and it was due to my really skewed view of how architecture is run here in UK. Like, all the architecture practices are, I will be honest, pays quite bad. There are maybe a handful of practices that actually do value their staff and architectural assistants. That is slowly changing, but it's not fast enough, and I don't really want to go back into it. I have been working hard to move forward with 3D part, but because of the perception that I had from architecture that you are paid quite badly basically until you are not fully qualified, that's not really the case in other design areas and different industries. For instance, yeah, I did undervalue myself, and I didn't really look into actual job market and how much I should ask for my services, and that was a mistake on my part, and that's what I want to share with you as well. Make sure you research market ask people around, and yeah, just don't undercut yourself, and also talk with people in industry, which leads me to the next point actually, is that do talk with people, talk with like your colleagues, do talk with professionals. And I mean that because I have made this mistake multiple times before, that I don't tend to share the actual struggle with certain things. And more often than not, people will be willing to help you, at least the form of advice. Because if like, and I was in this situation now, and I talk with some of my colleagues that I trusted with, and basically more often than not, some of your colleague has gone through exactly the same thing, being made redundant, need to switch the jobs, being like this whole stressful situation that it is, obviously. Yeah, do have a conversation with them. They might give you an insight that you might not even think of or not consider. It's good to know multiple perspectives, and you can pick and choose what works in your interest and situation the best. Like, obviously it's not, this is like exactly what this person did, and then you apply exactly the same thing to yourself. We are all different, and talking with other people and seeing that I'm not the only one being in this situation, and gathering the information from them, I was reminded about the lesson 3 is to focus on the smallest actionable step that you can make forward. For instance, finding a new job is a big step. It involves a lot of things, especially as a creative. It involves updating your CV, updating your portfolio. In my case, understanding what I can and can't show from the commercial stuff that I have done because of the NDAs and stuff that are involved in that. And it's a lot of smaller steps before you find actually a job in whatever the industry is like. But in creative industries, it is that there's a lot of smaller steps that you have to sort of tick before you can even send out the application. And like, I suggest you to go through those little, like, create a little checklist for yourself, what you have to do. This is what I'm in the progress now doing. Like, I have like this checklist of all the things that I have to do, email certain people to ask about the permissions and stuff, and obviously designing the layout of the portfolio, because I kind of am changing the direction where I'm going with the whole thing. Focus on those small steps rather than just like have like I have to find a job today, and then beating yourself up about not finding it as quick as possible. Because yeah, there's so many little things involved in that. Make sure to do those first before you just send like an email without anything included, like, or like a really old portfolio. Hey, I would like to work for you, but your portfolio doesn't reflect your interest working in the certain place. And I can have another video talking about that in the future. But also talking about the small steps, I also want to talk about like my next steps that I want to do in my career, is to actually start a little bit of freelancing, sort of create my own small business for 3D services. And that involves a lot of smaller steps again, like, which I have to focus on. And I also do want to document it here on this channel, like how it is actually to start from zero, not someone who has already established themselves saying like, oh, these are the things that I wish to do, but I want to actually focus on here and now, what I am doing to get the clients, get my word out, get the positioning my services, and I want to do it like sort of in the week, on a weekly basis, like talking about the inputs and the outputs of each week. Yeah, and see where it goes. I have been trying to be consistent, and then like sort of the changes happen and everything falls apart a little bit over this year, but I really want to now dedicate the proper time for this and yeah, just grow something on the side of being a freelancer and developing myself. Hello to new faces. It's nice to see you all. If you want to see more of this type of videos where I'm talking about my lessons and like next steps, please follow. Leave a comment if you have been in a situation like this and what maybe your lessons are, because I'm always interested to see different perspectives from other creatives or other people that are switching careers, switching the ways their careers are going. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.